Hello, everyone. My name is Barbara Smith, for those of you who don't know, but I think by this point you mostly know myself and my co-author, Krishna McNeil. And today we're going to be finishing up a year plus long series of conversations that we've had regarding our book, um, Addiction, One Cause, One Solution. And this is a time for us to say, where do we go from here, to finish up this part of it, and to invite you to chime in as you will about what you would like going forward. We would love to be able to hear more from you, and we hope that you will all stay in touch. So today what we're going to talk about a little bit is just how we can sort of take advantage of the wisdom that's all around us, whether it's in 12-step programs or smart recovery or wherever people are looking at themselves with some honesty, some interesting feedback from other people. When we're turning the camera this way and really starting to see ourselves more clearly and see our habits more clearly, that's when new worlds can open up to us. So one of the things that we really invite you to do, as they say in Principles Land, is to stay in the conversation. And what that means from my perspective is that you stay curious. When we can be open and curious and interested, we're going to see a lot more than when we feel, oh, we got this sealed up, or we got this sealed up with this sort of tension of I got to do all these things to keep myself balanced and stable so that I don't relapse. But when you're just interested and curious about what kinds of things impact me on a daily basis, and a more spiritual awareness of how the world works, and being able to be in touch with that sort of inner voice that can prompt us and lead us, the more we can see that and experience that in our lives, the more freedom it opens up for us to not be run, if you will, by our old habits. So that's my beginning spiel, and I'm going to turn it over to Christian. See what your thoughts are here.
Thank you, Barbara. Thanks very much. And as it happens, I've recently been having an intensive with a client who is somebody who's in long time recovery, and that in a very practical level has kind of focused my mind on this question, sort of where to from here, or where do the principles sit in relation to other organizations or programs that are promoting recovery. And one thing that this person said to me, so what do I do now? Do I need to get a mentor, or what's the next step? And it occurred to me that when we talk about everybody having the answers within, that really is the truth. Now, it doesn't mean that everything's always immediately obvious, but what I said to him, and it wasn't trying to be tricksy or smart aleck or anything. And I said, well, follow your curiosity, and maybe sometimes you will have a mentor and sometimes you won't, or maybe you'll be drawn to some training, or maybe you won't, or maybe you'll be more, you'll go back to this person. As it happened, I'd been in a 12-step program for several decades actually, and I said maybe you'll go back there and share some of what you've seen, not to or compete with 12 steps, but just speaking from the heart. This is what this is about, is the ability to, I think, see ourselves ever more clearly, to come to understand, well, for me, I speak for myself, come to understand that in a way that I had not for 3 decades, well, for 2 decades when I came across this, I had not understood the truth of the fact that at essence I am whole and complete. And today, if it's relevant, that's something that I share with other people, whether I'm working in my principles context or whether I'm in a recovery context. And I think that truth packs a punch, that it's not that there's nothing attached to that when I'm sharing. It's what seems to be relevant and true in the moment. But in terms of what next, our inner voice really will tell us, and it's not about a forced march, or having to work hard or to work on something. It really is, as you were saying, Barbara, about, I mean, it's so lovely about following what you're curious about, following what seems juicy and attractive. I mean, what a way to live. Just the following what's fun. And it's extraordinary to me how much more enjoyable and light-hearted and humorous my life is today, and also how honest that there's. Before we started our recording today, we've had very honest conversation with each other, sharing about things that have been on our minds, and teasing some stuff out, and being open to a fresh perspective or fresh insight. So that, in a nutshell, is the only advice. Follow your own heart. Follow your own heart and soul, and your sense of fun and your curiosity, and have a great time doing it. And my own experience is that discovering the principles really did fill in many of the blanks and sort out many of the misunderstandings that I'd had after more than 2 days of very hard work working on myself and my recovery. And what happened was, there was no more working. It was more a dissolving. It was more a falling away. That we've spoken in other episodes about a process of subtraction, or a psychology of subtraction. And what's left, what's revealed, is actually far better than I might ever have imagined. And um, just far more fun. And I was listening to something today, just as I was having a sleepless night, and I was listening to a podcast. I can't remember what it was, but somebody was just talking about happiness, and for much of my life that was elusive, or something that I was searching after. And but in fact, it's virtually an everyday experience for me now. But it's a kind of side benefit of the principle, side benefit of understanding who and what I am and what we all are, and understanding where my experience is coming from, and being willing um, to let anything painful I have come to see is really based on a misunderstanding of thought, because what the principles shows us is that the potential to be at peace in the face of absolutely any circumstance exists. And that isn't just a theory for me anymore. It's that has become a truth. And I also have my days when I forget that truth, and I'm completely caught up in my pain and distress, or whatever else. So I think I probably speak for both of us. It's just that the encouragement is just to do that. Have fun on this journey. Follow your heart, and have fun. And we hope now that things are opening up again after the pandemic. We hope to offer some in-person retreats, either in America or Scotland or the Azores, or who knows where. That's one of the things that we would love to do. We would love to connect with some of you in person. And that's an experience I have really, really enjoyed since being involved in this work. So what if and when those occur, we'll post them here, and you're all very welcome. But Barbara, I'm going to hand it back to you now.
Well, I think that about sums it up, really. I think, again, my greatest wish for all of you is more moments of joy and peace and clarity. And I think those are the promises of this understanding that I remember when I was first in Al-Anon and hearing all the laughter that came out of AA rooms and thinking, why are those people laughing? There's nothing funny about this at
Those
all.
bastards.
This is not funny. And, over the years, I heard many family members, say the same thing. And just to recognize now that if something isn't fun, probably, it's not the best thing. And to just follow that, like, I don't want to do this because this doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. To begin to really trust that intuitive voice that says, I don't think this is such a hot idea. And, sometimes you'll be right, sometimes you'll be wrong. But even that, when we can just kind of let that be what it is, like that really went well. Okay, well, let's try that again. Let's restart, let's recalibrate, let's move on. It just makes life so much easier and so much more pleasant and so much more enjoyable. And that's really my wish for you than being locked in this notion that we're broken and we need all this fixing to be okay or to take up space on this planet. So we hope you have fun. We look forward to hearing from you. Stay in touch. You know how to reach us. And the best of everything to all of you. Thanks for being with us during this time. It's been great to have these sessions with you all.
Yeah, yeah. Can I just echo that? I really have appreciated those of you who've shown up for our live webinars. There's just been some great questions and great sharing. And also those of you who've watched the recordings on YouTube. And please do see both of us as resources on this journey. We're both very accessible, and operate various kinds of sliding scales if in terms of fees, if that's an issue. So but we are here, and the Facebook group will remain open. So please post anything, any questions, any sharing, any experience. We'd love to see it, and we will also update that regularly. So thanks to all of you.
Yeah. Bye. Take care of
Bye.
yourselves.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh.